There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Called the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
And a pleasant good morning to you here from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam show for Thursday, November 28th, Thanksgiving, NFL Thanksgiving here. And thank you for joining me on this holiday. So appreciate you taking time from your family or getting ready for your meal here as we have a great day of NFL action with our 3 NFL games. Boy, I remember back in the day when it was only 2. So we've got football all day, all night here with 9 or 10 hours worth of our 3 feast games. And of course, speaking of feast, it's feast week. We've got college basketball to talk about. It wasn't always like that either, but man, this is an attractive college basketball schedule for Thursday with a lot of high-profile teams in action after a wild Wednesday of college basketball action last night. Some great finishes and some unexpected results, or were they expected? UConn, you can't. Not with the way the Huskies are playing right now. Man, they look like an also-ran here early on in the season. Not the same Huskies here at this point. And we saw their star go to the hospital with a concussion, so that wasn't great either. But nonetheless, we'll touch on a few games here from last night and say hello to everyone in the chat. Got a couple of dozen of you here joining me right away early on, and we won't be here for too long here today. That's for sure. I promise. Here with our card again, just the 3 or the 4 football games. Don't forget, we have one nice game in college football tonight with Memphis and Tulane. Both teams coming in with 9-2 records. A nice game we could talk about. It's a 2-touchdown spread, but both teams looking pretty strong here. So thank you for joining me in the chat. We'll talk about our preview and our games. But if you're here today, that's a special for me to have you guys here today. And we'll say hello to Johnny Walker. Hey, you can't have a holiday without Johnny Walker in the house. Nice to have you, Johnny. Gobble, gobble. Who's playing a turkey bowl today? Or have you already played? I mean, it is 9 o'clock on the East Coast. We know turkey bowl games can start 7:30, 8 in the morning. Are you back already? Hey, happy Thanksgiving to my man, Thomas Lewis. Good morning to Thomas. And like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money Network here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. John Schall here today, Joe W. Sean Higgs here. He's got a play for us today. He's got a little gobble in him. And he says, take Kennesaw today. In their matchup, I think the interesting thing there is great records for these two teams coming in here right now with Irvine and Kennesaw. And Sean says, take Kennesaw. I will say there was some a little bit of steam that did come in that game on Irvine. So there is maybe some value there with Kennesaw Irvine was an 8-point favorite, and they're up to 11 here right now. So Sean saying take Kennesaw. Thank you, Sean. Philly Eagle Flyer here, Lee Anthony Quinones as well. He did say it. Look at some crazy basketball games. So maybe I could just touch on a few of them because, man, there were some great games, some wild games there yesterday. Auburn won the Maui Classic. They might be in line to win this national championship the way they looked. 7-0, 4 wins over top 40 opponents so far this season. They averaged over 85 points in their 3 games. They're an excellent shooting team. They're especially strong inside. Auburn looked good, beating Memphis by 14 points last night. Alabama over Rutgers. Look, Alabama won the game. Rutgers might have won the war. I don't know if that's the right saying for this, but man, you just wish that Rutgers had a little bit more depth. They looked okay depth-wise, but still it was Alabama getting the win. They went 10 of 25 from beyond 3. Rutgers just 2 of 13, but there's no doubt. We waited for Ace Bailey to come back in the lineup. He's great. But how about Harper? Harper really here, record-setting performance for Harper. Guess what? The first player to score 35 points in back-to-back games. Maybe I don't have it all right, but no, nonetheless, I mean, with Bailey and Harper, they're both freshmen. Rutgers, wow, just amazing what we saw really from them. Yeah, they lost. They might not have enough defense to survive, but Alabama was the one that survived despite all those turnovers. They won it 95-90, but I think the star was Harper. And Bailey, they combined for 59 points in the game. And Rutgers is the team that, well, I think there are plenty of basketball experts talking about Rutgers, but I think you might be the one today. If you're sitting at your party or with your family and friends and they want to talk a little college basketball and they don't know about these guys, they might not be knowing their college basketball. So you spring it on them with Bailey and Harper of Rutgers. Alabama's good, no doubt, but Rutgers looks pretty decent too. Dayton smashed Connecticut, as we said. Look, Dayton belonged at the Maui Classic. Why not? I mean, they are a strong program, but really for UConn, just 4-3 right now, and the 4 teams that they beat are all, bottom tier teams for sure. In the 300s. So there's some issues right now, whatever it is with Connecticut. You figure they'll fix it and get it worked out, but playing elite teams right now, they were just not ready in the tournament out in Hawaii. West Virginia over the Zags last night. Zags led by 5 with 25 seconds left in the game, but Nemhard just 1 of 10 for Gonzaga. And how about West Virginia's guard, Small? He looked good, 31 points, 7 rebounds. Michigan State ended up winning that game late last night, if you missed it, over North Carolina in overtime, 94-91. Spartans led by 14 late in the first half. By the end of the regulation, Carolina had come all the way back, but Michigan State wins it in overtime. North Carolina just 1-3 against teams in the top 100, and they trailed in one of those wins by 20 points, remember. Spartans, they are 6-2, but they are not a very good shooting team from beyond the arc. My Aztecs did lose to Oregon last night. They were not the better team, so I had an L there trying to ride again with my Aztecs. Ducks are 7-0, and they've beaten some nice teams here also in the tournament. But hey, you're not going to beat any. You're not going to. I don't want to make excuses for San Diego State, but when you go 4 of 8 from the free throw line and your opponent gets 26 free throws, probably not going to win. They were also out rebounded. I remember what it was, at least 40-25. It felt like there for the Ducks last night as I watched my Aztecs give one away there to Oregon. There were some other big upsets last night. Western Michigan, a 9-point dog. They won. App State won as a 7-point dog. Sacramento State won as a 6.5-point dog. Georgia State beat me. I had Tulsa, and the Georgia State got the win. Other games, Louisville smashed Indiana. They've got a pretty veteran team, right? They got players from all over, so they have a lot of experience right now. Louisville's 4-1. Texas A&M beat Creighton. As Creighton goes down again, they're 0-3 against top 100 teams and don't seem to have any offense really compared to what we've seen from them in previous years. Yeah, they scored 73, but they gave up 50 in the second half to A&M. Oklahoma edge Providence. Elvis was in the building. The guard from Oklahoma had 26 points. He's a scorer, no make no doubt about it. He does not have pass in his vocabulary, but hey, I don't think they asked him to pass as Oklahoma got the win there. And Michigan smashed Xavier by 25 points last night. A pretty good shooting team, it looks like. And they got a pretty good coach right now there in Michigan, the former FAU coach, remember, who took him to the Final Four and played my Aztecs. Looks like he's going to be doing a pretty good job at Michigan. Samford over Utah Valley there. They look pretty good for those mid-majors. Samford looks pretty decent. So how'd you guys do in college basketball last night? Thank you for Lee Anthony setting me up there on that one. Michael Piccioni here today. Good morning. And here, Thomas, ready to go. I'll help Thomas. Look, we didn't get a consensus play, but that might have been my fault yesterday. So let me go ahead. If I see something, I'll go ahead and mention it. We don't want to have a show there without a draw. So hey, put your name in the chat right now or type something into the chat, and I'll enter you in for the drawing. And hopefully, we'll come up with a play or two. We may have to fake it a little bit and drum up a play or two, but we got to have a drawing at the end of the show. I left abruptly yesterday. We didn't have any consensus, and I didn't know how we could recover it. So we want to try to do that. And thank you, everybody, for joining me here. Ray Otachi as well. And who else? Let's see here. T Bird is here as well. Yes, Sean said, look at that line moving there on that Kennesaw game. Googly-eyed ring girl here today, and he's ready to go here as well. So she's ready to go. Whoops, don't want to get it wrong there. And Ferner here as well. Irish King ready to roll on Turkey Day. Hey, you can tell me your plans if you want. I might get some criticism here. I am a ham guy, but I will have both. Just because I might have preferred the ham doesn't mean I'm not going to be a part of tradition. We're Bob McCormick here. Thank you for everything on the holiday. I want to thank everyone who's been supporting me. Stop Geo here today as well. And Robert said he had a good day there in Champions League. I did send out a few winners. I think we kind of ended up a little bit ahead there with our Champions League picks yesterday. I had some out on my VIP selections, winners included. Girona game to go under. We gave out Lil here on the show yesterday as my winner here. Actually, I think I went 2-1 on my winners here on the show. I had under also in the Juventus Aston Villa game here on the show. I also had Liverpool over Real Madrid. Seemed to be a pretty popular play last night. And I did have the over in the Benfica and Monaco game. So we got Europa action today as the featured attraction, I guess, in soccer today. And the guys are here. And Fernando talk. Hey, how about my Tijuana Cholos? This is about as good as it gets for this team right now. Winning last night over the top seed in the Mexican League playoffs. Yeah, they were at home. They've got to go survive it, but they got a 3-0 lead in that game. 2-0 early for the Cholos. And this team looks as good as they've looked, I would think, in the 10 years since they've won the championship, 12 years, whatever it was. Yeah, they had a little bit of success a couple of several seasons ago now, it seems like. But this team looks as good as they've looked right now. And I have a feeling they couldn't get it past probably Club America if they comes down to that. But wouldn't it be neat to see if my team beat the top team in the playoffs here after being in the little play-in tournament? Cholos look good last night for sure. All right, see what else we have going here. That might be it from you guys. So, hey, I want to tell everyone that I do have my top plays today already loaded in NFL and college basketball and college football as well. Head on over to winnable.com. You can get more plays from me. I'm going to give you some plays here. You're going to give me your plays here, I hope, and we'll get a consensus winner here as well at the end of the show. Man, I just felt so bad last night. Was mad that I couldn't come up with it. So I'll help Thomas. I think he had to take off, and maybe I was supposed to take over there. I think he actually said it in the chat, and I might have missed that. We were going so fast with all those games yesterday. So if I see it, I'll call it out as well so we can make sure we get a drawing for the Team Steam consensus. So we just didn't have it, and I want to have one every show if we can do it. So check me out over at winnable.com. I have my top plays in the NFL today for all 3 games. And also I have my college football preferred play up there in that Tulane game. And I've got already probably my 10-pack of college basketball plays, ideal in high volume. So check me out over at winnable.com and use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. It's about 67 cents a day, 50 cents a day if you use my promo code. And that's how I send out my best plays here over at winnable.com. And use that promo code STEAM. I have picks behind a paywall. We call it content here in the business. And you can check me out there over at Winnable. You can set your notifications and get the plays right to your phone when I send them out. Yesterday I had some games that came out, within an hour before tip-off. So going to want to be alerted here on some of these. The tournament action rolls fast and furious here this time of year. We got great games today. Certainly we'll talk about the best matchups, I feel like, here today. All right, let's see who else joined us, and we'll just start the show, and then we'll Doge says it was Real. It was Cruz Azul kind of choking there, choked the turkey. They choked the turkey here. Detroit. Jermaine says, that Detroit's got that losing streak on Thanksgiving. Well, I can remember when Detroit was the team that kind of played spoiler sometimes a little bit, right? The teams would come in to play a weak Detroit team that always was having terrible seasons, and Detroit would play their game of the year, it felt like, and get that turkey leg at the end. Or at least cover the spread a lot of times. So Ron here today saying happy Thanksgiving to those south of the border, if you will. And I think Philly Eagle Flyer here, I think he's got his your Nations League or Europa League action here in international soccer. Thank you. I don't know if I'll have any. If anything, I might go a little bit of Mexican League tonight. We've got two more playoff games tonight. And Donut Silks is here with, I could just think of the turquoise and pink Donut Silks with a pink donut on the back. Hello to Doubles. Happy holiday to you. We got steam rolling in here right now. I probably should report it to you guys real quick here. A couple of games have just moved here on the line service, and let's take a look at them. Mississippi and BYU. The total moving over here right now. I think we got this one lined up for a preview, so I'll let you know right now that I am giving out the over in this game in Mississippi and BYU as my play here on the show, but it's going up right now to 152. It looks like here with this matchup. So I'll just mention it now. Maybe we'll preview it. Maybe we'll just mention it later on, but I am going over in the Mississippi BYU game. Let me just scroll it up here, and I got device. I got line services all over, and I use my phone over here to keep me abreast. You can see moving here and lighting up. So when I say steam move, that means when the screen is turning red, and I see it here. So I and I know it alerts us, and everyone teases me about the noises that come out, but it's really, it's really true. And you look at the Mississippi BYU, there it is. It's lighting up right there, Mississippi BYU. Look at that, up to 154 there was red. Now it's black, so it's been within the last 5 minutes, and that's a 3-point move here on the over right now here on the Morning Steam Show. So hopefully that's why you join me here. I keep you abreast of these early moves. Hey, I hope it's me. I hope it's the expert opinions, me in the chat or whatever, but I think it's important that these are real, actionable events, information that we cover here on the show, kind of like a market show a little bit, right? Maybe it's like the squawk box of sports here, since there's no financial channel news today here on our holiday. Cliff Floyd, he was our contestant the other day, had that 7-teamer, and Cliff didn't win. You get stuck with teams. You might not even like the teams, but we stick you with a parlay, and we'll see. Right now we're 0 for 17, 0 for 16, whatever it is. We've got to hit one of these. Here's Philly Eagle Flyer today. Thank you. And Jermaine say, look, the Bears are also pretty good on Thursday, but come on. Here, Doubles, the big Bears fan, says he knows they can't win. Question is, of course, Doubles, can they cover? All right, who else here? And right, I think that further saying that a lot of people are going to be talking trends, talking Thanksgiving trends a little bit, and it's easy to talk Thanksgiving trends, right? When you talk about the teams, right? But again, it's just a little bit different. It feels like look, the Bears are the team with the better Thanksgiving Day record. These teams have played each other plenty of times on Thanksgiving throughout the decades. But Detroit, they've lost 7 in a row on Thanksgiving, going 3-4 ATS. But is that going to matter? The Bears are 4-3 straight up and 5-2 against the spread on Thanksgiving over the last 25 or so, maybe 25 or more years here of late. So we'll talk all 3 games here in just a moment. All right, let's see. David Wallace here today. Thank you, David, for stopping in. Everyone who's stopping in here today, and we've already got 75 of you. I think we better start with the show. All right, let's see here. Doubles maybe has a premium on I think we might be able to figure it out. I don't know. Maybe he'll take his bear. I don't want to say it. All right. What do we got? Julian, I'm so sorry. I missed that. Julian, happy birthday to Julian. He gets Thanksgiving on his birthday, and he's celebrating 2 years of sobriety. I've mentioned that. Heck yeah, I will. You're funny you mentioned I'm celebrating. I go on the show across the street now and then. I think I'm going to spend a lot of time over there today, but I hadn't had a cocktail in like 5 years until a few weeks ago. Those guys, maybe I should follow Julian's lead. Funny, I've had the cocktail in hand, right? I drink a little drink to toast all of our wins over there on the props. I only pour myself a little bit. I know my limitations here in my mid 50s, right? Don't want to even get a little tipsy. But funny thing is, you learn about your body when you get older. I did not consume enough, I don't think, to catch a buzz. Maybe they were teasing me because I was singing a song one night when the Chargers were scoring, but I wasn't feeling it, if you know what I mean. Like back, we know what but my body felt, it was like the next morning, didn't have a hangover or anything the body had the hangover, not the brain, not the headache or anything. It was the alcohol, I think, in the body that I felt. And that was really, I realize now what kind of goes on. I don't think it's going to stop me, though. I might pour myself one today. I found a little something that I like here for toasting. So, okay. Thanks, everybody, for stopping in here. We better start because we got a nice crowd in here today. So I think we should start the show and start talking a little football here with our matchups today. And let's just go to the first matchup. Right, Thomas? He'll drink to it too. And Thomas, I don't want to say Thomas and I, we're on the other side. We're on the other side, but I think I'm still willing to have one. Okay. Here, we're not here for a long time, or what's the saying? All right, you guys here, the Bears and the Lions, and hey, look, this line looks a little stale already here right now. Maybe I just rounded it up, saying let's just put a 10 up there, but I think I can move the line here in real time on the air, and also I might be able to move that total. It looks like it continues to move down here right now, and I think everywhere you look, you're looking at single digits here on the spread right now. There's been a few injuries of note to the Lions that have kind of worked, I think, as a factor, and maybe a little bit of public sentiment here that the Bears could show a little bit of life. Look, I've been the guy who's kind of been the supporter here of Caleb Williams a little bit, right? Kind of defended him on some of the shows. I'm not sitting here to tell you he's going to live up to the hype of a first pick in the draft. I think one thing that's kind of what we get wrong as fans sometimes, that you know what, if a guy like, let's look at some, maybe not just all first round picks or whatever, but you look at maybe a guy like a Trevor Lawrence, right? If he, continued on his career trajectory right now and didn't get any better than he ever has been, but he still played a few more years, I think you made a good draft pick, right? You could say that a guy like, I'm just equating. I know we're talking about the Bears and the Lions here, but I'm just talking about quarterbacks sometimes that get drafted to a team and, play. If you get drafted the first round pick and you end up playing, in the NFL for 6, 7, you've had a good pick, man. Just because he didn't go on, yeah, maybe those guys are expected to be superstars, but also you just really expect them to be professional players for a number of years. So I think with Williams, we definitely have a guy who's going to not maybe some of these quarterbacks fade quickly. Williams, I think we'll still see him work out pretty well in the future. Could he, is he better than Justin Fields ever was? I don't know if he is. But nonetheless, we'll talk about this game here today with the Bears and the Lions, and you can get your picks ready here also. With these two teams, let me plug in my line service phone here. I mean, I got it over here going off, but I just like to have it in front of me over here. You'll peek in as to what I look at here as I'm looking over here, I'm looking over there. I'm trying to talk some notes with you guys. So here we go with the Bears and the Lions, and the Bears coming in 4-7 here right now. They've lost 5 straight, but 3 of them were led by less than a field goal. Chicago, they've definitely improved here on their with their new coordinator here at this point, having made the change a few weeks ago. They've been a little bit better on offense. Look, the receiving game hasn't been maybe what they've expected, right? That's another thing that has affected Williams to a certain extent. Have we really seen the production from a guy like Keenan Allen this season? How about Roma Dunze? He's a big prop player today for a lot of people, but has the rookie really been, extra special here so far as maybe he was expected to be? So, if anything, maybe Williams has been a little bit hampered or challenged. And has that running game really ever gotten enough support? Doubles can tell me in the chat. But under Eberflus, this is not a good situation for the Bears. They're just 7-13 against the spread as a road underdog. Also, the Bears just 3-6 in their last 9 games. Last 9 division road games here. So the Bears, they've been okay for forcing turnovers. They just can't seem to convert them. They can't convert on third down. A lot of times the opponents, though, they've stopped the opponents from converting here of late. The defense has been all right here over the last few games, but it's just where they can't put 1 and 1 together. It feels like if the offense has a decent day, the defense hasn't lived up, and if the defense does well, the offense isn't isn't coming with it. So Detroit's won 9 in a row. They're 8-1 against the spread in those 9 games right now. They've been dominating the second half. In fact, the last 5 games, the Lions have outscored their opponents 77-11 in the second half. They're allowing their opponents to convert on just about 30% of their third down plays, it feels like right now. Campbell's got those obscene numbers against the spread here. Not to mention 7-2 against the spread their last 9 division games at home, and also closing out the first halves with scores here. That's what the Lions have been doing. Very good execution. They've outscored their opponents 47-16 in the final 2 minutes of the first half this season. So Lions have won 3 of the last 4 meetings between these two teams. Although the Bears, you guys kind of mentioned it there, they've had a decent run here in Detroit anyway. Bears are 5-1 straight up, 4-2 against the spread. Their last 6 trips here into Detroit, they've been a little bit of a spoiler. Remember, Detroit's been pretty decent here for a couple of seasons now, but before that, they were, equals, if anything, here. So 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Let's see what you guys are going to do here in this one with the Lions and the Bears. Oh, my. And who's going to get that turkey leg? Or I didn't even look at the network. I didn't even look at the. This is the CBS game. So CBS has the gobbler, right? And is it Fox that has the turkey? I don't even know what they do on those awards. Here, those fake awards on Thanksgiving. But okay, let's take a look here from you guys. Julie says, yeah, it creeps up on you, right? I wasn't expecting that from the tequila drink that I got. Let's see here. Jermaine's going to start us off. He's got Goff under in his attempts here today. Maybe can look at a few player props with our light schedule and things like that, since it feels like it's Turkey Day. So the NFL is the biggest one here. Here goes Robert McCormick here. He's on the under. And I'll just give out my, I know that I always tail Robert sometimes. I think I'm against him here. I'm going to go with the over as my pick on the show here. And I'm hoping it's the Bears, quite frankly, that can contribute to the offense here a little bit. Man, the Lions might be in a pretty good position, it feels like, right? Doubles is talking about long-term, some of the decisions that the Bears have made to be in the position that they are in right now. And here's Caleb Williams over in his pass attempts here. Will they have to take to the air? Fernando with a little lean here. Yeah, Fernando, you can take a shot here on Thanksgiving. You can get a play in there. You don't need to lean for us. Jermaine says he's got Allen to get in the end zone. Man, Allen to do anything. Keenan Allen, he's been hurt a lot here, it feels like. And Thomas says, look, the Bears play good defense. They run the ball, keep Detroit off the field. You can stay within double digits here. And Jermaine, he said there's the ATD on that. Jermaine says Eberflus has done well on these short weeks or whatever it is, right? And Doubles says, Doubles, don't be giving away the plays here. I think we know now. My friend, great to see you, Doubles. Thank you. Stopping in on Thanksgiving. All right. Trap God wants to lay it here. Happy Thanksgiving to Morgan Spooner today. We always try to I always try to make sure that, you eat in the middle of the Dallas game. I think that's just tradition. A lot of people say, just do it this year because that's the bad game, right? Eat during the Dallas game. But I always we're on the West Coast, so I think, 2:30 or so is a good time for Thanksgiving dinner here. So let's see what else here we got in the chat. If anything here, Lions win. Caleb to rush for some yards. Thank you, googly-eyed. Chosen one, Lions first half. Burner says that Lions step on the gas and keep it floored, but Jermaine does like the points here, it looks like. If you see that one there, that's an 8-point spread. That's an over right there. All right, and here's Morgan Spooner. He's going to take some basketball action. I'm going to talk about 10 games here today. I think sports money is money here. Why do I always forget? I just wait for Justin to say it. All right. Patrick's here today as well. Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. And here, maybe Thomas likes the Lions team total in the first half. I'll take the over here. My premium pick is on the side here in this one. And all right. I think that might be it. You guys are in there. Look, Detroit's on a winning streak. Bears are on still on a losing streak, no matter how you look at it, right? That's the way it's going right now. Detroit 9-2 against the spread, 4-1 against the spread at home. Bears 1-3, or 0-4. Did I get that right? Lions 4-1 against the spread at home, covering 9 of their last 10. We did say that. Okay. Bears here 0-4 against the spread on the road, 1-6 against the spread as an underdog. Justin here, Lions team total over in the first half at 14.5. Thank you, Julian, for some more college basketball here today. And like I said, I can't remember. I mean, yeah, I know that we've been gravitating towards more college basketball on Thanksgiving, but does seem like this year, this really good schedule. Before, it used to be kind of just a couple of football games. Maybe you'd have the Egg Bowl on Thanksgiving. So, all right, I'm on the over here with the Bears and the Lions. Spread continues to go down. That means to me maybe more trouble for the Bears than the Lions. But the Lions, I didn't even cover the injuries. So Amon-Ra St. Brown, definitely questionable in this game. David Montgomery, certainly notable. This is what's happened here to make this spread go down, I think, especially from the Sharps, right? You have Taylor Decker, the tackle, out here as well. Carlton Davis going down. So I think what you've had here is a little bit of the injury bug here a little bit for Detroit has kind of taken this spread down, it feels like, from the double digits. So Bears coming in, their injury report not nearly as thick as the Lions here. And Jermaine says St. Brown under, but is any book even willing to issue this here at this point? Because I believe, I'm listing him as extremely questionable in the game here today. So, all right, thanks, fam, for that preview. That first game. Let's move on. Get ready for game number 2 right now. And yeah, but it's still Thanksgiving, and we make fun of it a little bit, like, oh, we got to sit through this game, but we're thankful on Thanksgiving to get a football game. So maybe, if anything, that kind of saves the day. And the two will play on the holiday here at AT&T Stadium. I've been to 5 Dallas Thanksgiving Day games in my life. Now, never in AT&T Stadium. That's how old I am. I went to 5 consecutive games back in the late 90s, and I want to say maybe 2000 there. But some memorable Thanksgiving Day games in Dallas that I had been to throughout the years. And that used to be a tradition that I was doing there for a time in my life, is making the trek each year to Dallas. I had to visit some company, if you know what I mean. Go down to the Texas Stadium and watch the game. So Dallas at home here against the Giants, -3.5, 37.5 here with that low total. I mean, you got the storyline surrounds these quarterback situation here today, including the Giants, and a lot of talk here today about could DeVito make the lineup. I guess he did make the trip after all, and he's trying to it doesn't seem like he's going to make the lineup, and Drew Lock will be in there. And if anything, The storyline revolves around Locke and the Giants last week, and the fact that they played DeVito over Locke and the controversial comments. I say controversial, but just the locker room comments from a rookie, basically Malik Neighbors saying, what are we doing? Why are we starting this guy over this guy? Why don't we have the more established quarterback and Drew Lock in there? But again, they were trying to avoid triggering some clauses in there a little bit, and that's not the right approach. But we know the Giants might be a little bit more tank mode here. The Cowboys this week, if anything, Jerry Jones is unabashedly loyal. It feels like, to his guys, right? And I think if anything, that's why we might see them not make a change in the head coaching ranks. It feels like, if anything, Jones is one to come out and maybe throw a little bit of support to his guy, a little bit, if you will. What's the old saying? The vote of confidence. It felt like, if anything, that's what he got. What McCarthy got this week from Jerry Jones. So I don't want to say there's any stability in Dallas the way this has gone. This has been an absolute disaster because you are the Dallas Cowboys. You can't be in this situation. But compared to where the Giants are, with a little bit of bickering, not bickering or infighting, but just, what are we doing type of thing. I don't want to be here, playing half-ass ball is kind of what Neighbors was saying, right? But ever since, Jones got the boot, and then they were going to decide, to go with DeVito over Locke, that's what he was saying. What are we doing here? Why are we doing this? And that was after the game. So if anything, it just feels like Dallas isn't in the same dreadful, what are we doing mode. Yeah, it's been bad. Maybe it's been because of a lot of the injuries that Dallas has had here this season. And yeah, maybe they've stunk it up too, but they are 3-7 coming in. The Giants are 2-9. We're still really awaiting the quarterback decision, but I've got to think it's Drew Lock here. At this point, DeVito's injury is kind of a forearm injury, so he's not going to be effective if he's in there at all. And is Drew Lock even going to be effective here right now with Micah Parsons, with Thomas's favorite defensive player, Micah Parsons, in there wreaking havoc? He might be the guy holding that Thanksgiving Day trophy. It feels like here at the end of the game, if the Cowboys win, and not guys like C.D. Lamb, or Lamb also questionable in this game. No, he's probable now in the game, but he's had that shoulder injury coming in here to this one. Jake Ferguson out of this game for the Cowboys here, and we'll see here for the Lions who's going to make it here. But
system play.
Oh, I never did get you that Steam, did I? I'm we'll wait on it right now. Anyways, give me what you got
Steam
here
play.
with the Cowboys. Here, I mentioned it, and the Jets are getting steamed. The Jets are getting steamed, of all things, here in their game on Sunday against the Seahawks. The Jets are getting, 2.5 here? It looks like it's going to go down to 2 or maybe 1.5 right now. The Jets are getting steamed in the game against the Seahawks here this weekend. All right, let me go to the chat and just get your comments here with the Giants and the Cowboys. It's still the Giants and the Cowboys here, right? And let's see, we got anything here with you guys? Cowboys roll, says Jermaine. Get back on track here. Look, the Giants, it feels like a disaster. If the Cowboys haven't been a disaster already. Here's David with the over here in this one. I'll roll with David. I think there's my play right there. I'm going to try the over here in this one with the Giants and the Cowboys. I get why it's gone down, certainly. Here, it could be tough for the Giants to score, but I am going to be on the over here. Maybe there's a few trends that kind of favor the over here. You do have the Giants allowed their team total to allowed their opponents to go over their team total in 5 straight games here right now. Now the Giants are definitely been an under team this season, going under in 8 of 11. 8 of their 11 games so far. But the Cowboys also have allowed their opponent to go over in 5 of their last 6. Now, granted, maybe their opponents were certainly better than what we've kind of seen here right now. But Dallas is 4-1 to the over at home here this season. And even though the Giants, they are 3-8 to the under, as I just said, right? But they are 2-2 on the road, 2 overs and 2 unders. So I'm going to end up sneaking this one over 37.5 here. You know, I'm an unders first kind of guy, but where is Joe in the chat? Is Joe here? I'm on a couple of overs here so far, and stay tuned. Let's see here. Fernando going to take the Cowboys here. Jermaine says, expect Neighbors to maybe be a factor here today. Look, he might be the best player on the field, at least offensively here today. Rich Stubbs says, look, Dallas here to win on the money line. You know, whenever you get one of these ugly games, just put a score like this up there, right, Rich? 19-16, 19-17, 18-15, something like that. It might be a game like that. Or maybe we could get a little. Oh, do I have no sound here, Leroy? If you guys, I got 100 people in here. I think we would have heard it here from somebody right now. So we got 100 here. Thank you, you guys. Awesome to be here on a holiday with you guys. All right. Billy Mack says, I can't quite get into the Europa League action. They're just a little bit of a step down there a little bit. Ray says he has the Cowboys here in this one. Redbeard's on Dallas, and Thomas says, we got to do it. We got to take the Dallas Cowboys as a consensus. We got to have a consensus play here, so take it here in this one. Dallas is our consensus play. All right. We're on the board. We have one here. Hey, hello to Wine Time. I'm getting ready for my high school football championships here tomorrow. I've got 3 teams to watch in championship games. Wine Time, how about that? 3 of my teams. I cover 14 high school teams every week. I write about them. I talk about them, and 3 are in championship games. I'm happy about that. If you're practicing on Thanksgiving, you're in, baby. That's what you want to do in high school football. The goal is to be practicing on Thanksgiving. All right, Ferner's going under here in this one. Robert's going to go over with me. Redbeard might bet the over. And there's Joe. I'm on 2 overs so far here. Thanksgiving, Joe. All right. And Thomas says, let's take it down to 2.5 here. Let's just be sure. Thomas is going to work extra hard here. He feels bad like I do that we couldn't get it together yesterday. He also feels bad that we can't get the first win. So we're going to do what we can to help this out and try to get somebody a cash prize here on the morning steam. That's what we're doing. Doge is on the Cowboys. Jermaine does not like the Giants. He hates them. All right. And let's see here. Under is king is on the over. Is that me? Joe says go over in all 3 games. All right. Hello to Flea. Thank you. Nice to see you here. Thomas says Dallas will get this win. We'll take it down to 2.5. Let's try to get this win. We'll buy it down. I remember all decisions of Ramon are final. So if Thomas says, let's make sure we put it under 3 here in this game. Well, even if we have to juice it up at 2.5, what is that going to be? Minus $1.50 or $60 here, but I don't care. Let's try to get this win for somebody on Thanksgiving. Burner says, don't even worry about it. Ladder it up. It's a blowout. All right. Did anybody nobody in a Turkey Bowl game today with their friends or family? All right. Good point here, though, Robert, right? Maybe we've backed Dallas a few times, but when, the thing is with Dallas, right, 0-5 against a spread at home. So that is something certainly to consider. And I mentioned the totals, right? For the Giants, though, also, maybe they're 3-8 against the spread, but they're 2-2 against the spread on the road. So, all right. Patrick, he's some people love the cranberry sauce. It's funny, right? Every year you can make two kinds of cranberry. You give them the real cranberry sauce, and then you give them that ocean spray thing, that round cranberry thing, right? And at the end of the thing, round cranberry thing is gone, and there's the bowl of the fresh, beautiful, juicy cranberry is still there. No one touched the gourmet cranberry. Everybody went for the canned, round, slice it cranberry. Because that's what they, or is it just my goofy fam? Shout out to my family and friends watching right now on Facebook. I love you all. I love you guys. All right. Thomas just eats cranberry sauce year round. All right. Patrick's got some plays here. That's it for the Cowboy game. Thank you, guys. I'm on the over so far in our 2 games. Jermaine says, I got none of that. I've got, you know what I've got? I've got NFL. That's what Jermaine said. All right. We're going to go up to Lambeau Field here tonight. Look, you don't need me to reiterate the storylines for this one, right? Just think of Tua, hot Tua, not Hawk Tua, hot Tua. He's been good. He's been good since coming back. He's been pretty darn decent, right? We know he's above average. He's, again, right? It's kind of one of those things. If Tua went on to complete his career like this, we might say, man, that Tua was terrible. He's actually probably going to have a pretty decent career when it's all said and done. And the expectations that we put on people are just so high. It feels like a little bit of steam coming in right now on the Minnesota Golden Gophers in college football. I want to mention that in tomorrow's game against Wisconsin. I think Joe, if he's in the chat, he's already given his play. I'll let him maybe reiterate it because I think he's pretty strong in the battle for the axe. But we're seeing the play right now on Minnesota. This game is actually moving to a pick'em here right now. Maybe Minnesota's been the better spread team for sure this season against Whiskey, but Joe was talking about it, I think, a little bit, and that's his big game. So maybe he'll comment on it. We'll talk about it tomorrow, of course, but right now Minnesota's taking steam against Whiskey. All right, so we know that whatever I think the storyline is easy, right? Miami doesn't win and under 40-degree temperatures, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. Miami also is not favored in those games, right? And maybe that's part of it. Yes, we don't expect them to win. But I think the fact that we say sometimes in roles like this, oh, this team is, 0-7 or 0-9 in this situation with the weather. I'm not speaking specifically about the Packers because we get kind of those issues every time with the cold weather and warm weather teams. But a lot of times you're still the Dolphins and you're going in to play the Packers. If it was 75 degrees in September, the Packers are probably going to be the favorite too and expected to win. So sometimes we get a little bit off on some of those trends. It is a little bit tough to ignore. And yeah, you talk about, Tua, we know, great from Hawaii, went to St. Louis High, a great program in Hawaii. So yeah, maybe there's a little bit of that here a little bit, but more so, it's just you're going into a tough environment when you're going in to play the Green Bay Packers, whether you're going in to play them in September or December. We know that one thing is the Miami Dolphins are a very good team in November. That's what their history kind of says here. But you're going to have to overcome this obvious trend or factor that everyone's talking about Tua going, he'll be wearing that. I don't know what he'll be wearing, but to me, we've seen him before in a little bit of cold, right? In Kansas City or whatever, in Baltimore, he wears the white hood shirt, and he looks cold out there. But I think he's kind of a tough subdued in a way, the concussions notwithstanding. Look, the Dolphins have won 3 straight games right now. They're playing pretty decent here all of a sudden. They need to play decent. The pressure's on right now at 5-6. The Dolphins here, look, Green Bay, if anything, we're just now starting to get the talk here, right, about how good of a job they've done, how good a job the coach has done here, maybe his best job here a little bit so far for LaFleur. So, if anything, here the Packers, are going to be the public choice, I'm sure, coming in to this one. But Miami is 3-2 against the spread on the road this season. And they've allowed just an average of 16.5 points per game in the last 3 games, all victories here right now. So they've looked much better with Tua back in the helm here. Look, Tua's talking about the criticisms of the quarterback and right under it. Tua's 36-23 as an NFL quarterback. He is well above average. That is, really outstanding in this league. Quite frankly. And, I think everyone knows that I'm still a McDaniel fan here, even if everybody wants to make fun of him. Like I said, if the Dolphins fired him, there'd be 10 teams ready to try McDaniel as their next head coach. If not, he wouldn't be one of those cast-offs that we'd never see again, or, just send him back to being a coordinator here. No, that's not the case with McDaniel, as quirky as he is here. But Packers come in 8-3. They've won six of their last 7, but it should be noted they've failed to cover the spread in 4 of their last 5 games here right now, despite those 6-1 record in the last 7 games. So they've been playing some close games. They've been playing clutch, no doubt about it. When they get a strong defensive effort, holding that team down, they usually always cash in. So still, though, you got a big number here, but you got, good quarterback play with Love, with Tua. Let's hear it from you guys in the chat. Here in this one, I heard Keith talking about the season series here in this one and how the Packers have dominated this series. But remember, this is a series that takes place just once every 4 seasons. So I know that you can equate a little bit of those warm weather into the cold weather teams even before Tua was quarterback of this team, but that's pretty long sample size here. So let's see what you guys have in the chat. Dolphins 28-19 against the spread when coming in off of a win. Let's go, chat. You've got 40 comments here to look at right now. And I got steam rolling in, baby. All right. Fernando says, what is the weather like in Green? Well, let me tell you, Fernando, it's going to be about 28 degrees tonight. It's expected to feel like 15, whatever that means. I'm from Southern California, man. But I will say this. I mentioned to you guys that I've been to the Dallas Thanksgiving Day football game. I went for 5 straight years. I went to a famous Dallas football game that had snow. And it doesn't snow too often in Dallas, right? They have a roof now and everything. But remember, they didn't used to have a roof in that Texas stadium. Of course, everybody knows that they didn't have a roof because God wanted to look in on his team. But I'm from Southern California, and even though I've been to see snow or I've been to I've been skiing many times, but I did not prepare for that football game, and that was the coldest I had ever been in my life. One time when I went to see a famous Dallas game on Thanksgiving. Here comes some more plays for you guys. I'll start off with wine time. He's got the Dolphins here. Elliot's going Packers and under. And I agree. I want to agree with Thomas. I don't think look, it's cold, but when you're a football player, it's really Not that cold. I've watched some cold games. My team, the Chargers, played in what was arguably the coldest game in history. They played a game in Miami. Here's the funny one, right? Remember this one? The Chargers one time played a game. It was 85 degrees in Miami in their AFC divisional game. And the next week they had to go play in Cincinnati in the AFC championship. And it was, 40 below zero with the wind chill. But you wonder why they lost that game. I'm going to pass some of this steam along here while we're doing this game here with this college basketball. We're going to talk about in just a minute, but Arkansas and Illinois, we're seeing steam here to the over right now with the total going north of 155 here. It feels like these two teams have played some unders so far, a couple of them anyway, but the steam right now, Arkansas and Illinois is coming in right at the moment here on the over. Also, we just saw Arlington and Rhode Island game total here moving under 159 now. It looks like it was as high as 161. Steam to the under here with Arlington and Rhode Island. All right, let me see if I can get another one out to you here. Utah Valley and North Dakota State, game total under 143, heading to 142 here right now. Steam on the under, Utah Valley and North Dakota State. Also, just a few moments ago, it was St. Mary's taking the steam tonight against USC. They went from 4.5 to maybe 5 here or higher. St. Mary's took some steam here. Not too heavy. In fact, I don't even know if that registered. Let me just say that I'm not going to mark that one down, actually. I don't know if the move is significant enough. All right, continue on. Oh, one more here, SMU and Mississippi and BYU. Oh, we mentioned that one. Okay, I'm done. Game total over. I said we're going over. Okay, here we go. Give me more comments from you guys. I'm going to run them down here. With Billy Mack says, I'm still going to maybe take the Dolphins here in this one, take those points. Flea's ready for tomorrow's game. And let's see here. Wine Time's talking about that Minnesota-Wisconsin game that I was talking about. Thomas says, give me Green Bay. I'll lay 2.5 here. Rich is on Miami on the money line and the under here. Robert says, give me the under in this one. You know what, Joe? I'm on 3 overs. I'm going Joverland here today. I've got the over in every single game here. I think you guys make fun of me sometimes, always just drifting to the under when I don't know what's going on, when I can't really make a pick, or I don't know what I want to do, and I still want to make a pick, and I just kind of gravitate toward the under. But today, I'm going over in all 3 football games here today. So Joe's going to be proud of me here. Hopefully, I'm not coming on here tomorrow and saying, Joe, what happened? That was a dumb laugh. Okay. Here's Joe talking about the game for us there. He says, senior day for whiskey. He's on the Badgers here. All right. Hello to Kelly. Happy Thanksgiving to you and the chat and our family here as well. And funny, right? I'm a big sports. It's obvious, right? I'm a big sports fan all my life, right? Big time. I wanted to be Mr. Sportscaster or sports writer. I was, or actually, I guess I fulfilled all my dreams here on the Sports Money Network as well. But my family does not follow sports, period. They follow me a little bit, but I think they could care less about, they don't have favorite team. I guess if anything, they are Wisconsinites for the most part. Here's a steam play coming in right now on Purdue and NC State, one we're going to preview here, but the steam's coming in on the over right now at 146.5, going up to 147 here right now. Purdue and NC State, that one's being played out in San Diego at the old REMAC Arena. I think they call it the Lion Tree Arena right nowadays, but UCSD's home, and Purdue and NC State going over, spending the weekend, spending Thanksgiving in San Diego. Wish I was. All right, Johnu to get a TD here. Here's A-Chan to get a TD. Or just probably Matt A-Chan on his props. I think Billy Mack likes him here. And no doubt, Kelly says, "Look, Love is throwing picks, right? And Tua, he's not necessarily throwing picks, isn't that right? Here, he's been okay here last few games. All right." And Joe says, "You know what? They go sit on that thing, right? You put your feet in there, you get your feet all warm, you sit on that warm bench." Thomas is on Green Bay, though. Ray is on the Dolphins team total under. Maybe we're going to split here. And Jermaine, like I said, though, I think, and, compare, Miami on the road just in general. Chosen One says Miami's live. Green Bay could be looking ahead to the Lions. Hill under in his yards. Packers and under for Elliott. Thank you. Right, Thomas? I was not prepared. One pair of socks, a windbreaker jacket. That was a bad idea. That was a bad idea, Thomas, to go to Texas Stadium dressed like I did. All right. Julian, I'm from the East County of San Diego originally, if that's what you're asking. I know there's been a lot of talk about, in fact, I mentioned it this week, right? Think of, I went to the same high school as Bill Walton, and he was a great sportscaster, right? And, but look at all my guys. Reggie Bush went on to be a sports broadcaster. Alex Smith kind of became a sportscaster as well. These guys were from my school. And Ramon Scott was a sports announcer, kind of. He's here on the morning steam. Julian likes Illinois here. And I think that's it for the football. Thank you, everybody. I've enjoyed it. Doe says it's just cold right now. Don't even want to go outside, right? All right, you guys. Great job on the football. Enjoy the football today. I will be over at PSR here for at least for a couple of games. I don't know how long I'm going to sit here. I mean, I'm going to sit here and watch them. I might as well join them over there. So, all right. I'm agreeing with Joe here. Hey, if you got time, let me just plug this here. The guys were on last night on, they did a little show. There's no UFC this week with the holiday. There's just some, I think there's some PFL this week, but the gang got together last night, and I was watching them on the show while I was driving to get my pizza. While I was getting pizza last night. And the guys have a show up here on the Sports Money Network right now called First Slice. I thought it was a pizza review show, but apparently it is a football preview. Just kidding there, guys. But they did a preview of all the games with their best bets yesterday. You have time to check it out right now. The games don't start for 2 more hours. So after I'm done here, or right now, if you want to go check it out, we do have the guys, our crew here, the Sports Money 6, covering the games with their best bets today. So please check it out here on the Sports Money Network. Have a few more bets in your pocket for the games tonight with First Slice here on the Sports Money Network. One of the videos, just go to the YouTube page, go to videos. You know how to do it. We have our preview with the guys from last night, having a good time. All right. I think that's it, gang. Here, Andrew, nice to have you as well. Thank you for your salutations here for everybody. And let's go right now to our one big college game here tonight at 7:30 Eastern and 4:30 Pacific with Memphis taking on Tulane. Both teams come in with a 9-2 record here in this one. So it feels like a pretty big game here right now. Tulane, of course, 7-0. Looking good here right now as they continue there. Hey, why isn't Tulane up there with – here's the thing, the college football playoff. You think really Boise State should be a number 4 because they've got a great record, whatever, and you might end up trying to leave Indiana out of this. What are you thinking now? These attention whores of the college playoff committee, they've done this every year. They put some goofball team in there. I don't want to call Boise a goofball team, but they always take that group of 5 team or whatever and stick them in there a little bit. Says, oh, look, we'll dangle them here. Look, you can come catch this team or whatever it feels like. But there's no way that Boise deserves a bye. I don't care how good or whatever the qualifiers are. And I would think even if they keep winning, they'll move them out of there eventually. But it should be Tulane. It feels like that should be getting more attention, but they have the 2 losses. So they've won 8 straight here right now, averaging 43.5 points per game in those games, and won their last 3 games by a combined score of 121-9 right now. Their 2 losses were to Oklahoma and to Kansas State. So, yeah, maybe it kind of shows that they don't necessarily deserve to be up. But I'll tell you what, if you threw Boise against those teams, they'd probably lose to them as well, it feels like. But Tulane, 20-10, their last 30 games as a home favorite against the spread, 32-15 against the spread as a favorite. They are laying 2 touchdowns here. It makes it a little bit difficult. But, man, Tulane is one of the best spread teams in the country over the last, half a decade. Quite frankly, here. Widely reported steam did come in here on the over in this game. I have 55 there on screen. It's down to 54 here at the sharp, but I'm on the over here in this one. I'll tell you that right now. My premium play is on the side, so I knew I was going over. I'm half kidding that I'm making the decision on the fly like this. But Tulane here, the home team has won 6 of the last 7 meetings between these 2 teams. But Memphis also 0-3 straight up and against the spread their last 3 visits to play Tulane. And Tulane won by 10, 14, and 16 points overall in this one. Tigers have won 6 of their last 7 games coming in here, but they are just 4-9-1 against the spread in their last 14 games as an underdog here. So I think you have a team that, it's laying a hefty price, but Tulane's been covering. Maybe Memphis hasn't here for the most part, even with this strong record. A lot of times Memphis has been laying a few too many points. And really, they've only ended up going 5-1 against the spread so far this season. They are 1-0 against the spread as an underdog, but Tulane has covered everything pretty much as a favorite. 8-1 ATS here for the Green Wave. So let's see what you want to do maybe here in this one with these 2 teams. They're both excellent. That's a lot of points, but it does feel like maybe Tulane is a B+ type of team. Maybe Memphis is a B- or maybe B. When you're 9-2, I don't think you could be a B-, but let's see what you guys have, if anything, in this college matchup here today. Definitely a game worth keeping your eye on if you're a second TV type of person. Here, it feels like a good one to check out. Rich says, give me those 2 touchdowns. Doge is going to go over here. Jermaine says, Tulane team total over in the first half and the full game. Jermaine says they're going to roll Memphis here. Tulane to roll. Ferner says Memphis, their deal is set. They'll be bowling, but they're not going to be, Tulane has the ultimate motivation here. Still, it feels like with the conference and all. Tulane here. Lots of talk on Tulane. There is some Memphis support. I don't know if it's going to be a consensus here, but Nasty Nate, happy Thanksgiving to you. All right. I'm on the over here in this one. Man, I'm getting a discount here at 54 or so. Maybe it's 54.5 at the sharp books. But again, if I'm talking discounts here, let's see here. Jermaine Thomas, I don't know if we're going there or not. It is a consensus play. Wow. Lay 2 touchdowns here with Tulane. All right. I'm seeing a little bit of move here on. Let me see here. I think I saw a little bit of action here in the Europa League just now with Manchester United getting steamed a little bit against Bodo Glimt today. But how about the former Manchester United player? Looks like he's going to be the next president of Georgia, the country. Former Manchester United player is going to be the president of Georgia. All right, Andrew says I'm on Tulane here. All right, I'm on the over though, but the consensus play is on Tulane. So, all right, gang, we got 2. We know we're gonna have a drawing for sure. You can be in the drawing. There's 41 of you entered in right now. All you got to do is comment in the chat. You can say anything. I don't know. I say that, but you might go on there and either maybe cuss out the host or say something off kilter, and maybe I'll ban you. I don't know if that you still might be eligible to win. I don't know. All right, let's get to our college basketball here real quick and see if we can't get out of here before the top of the hour with a big card of action here with starting it off here at 12 Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific. Give you a half-hour start to watch some hoop before you get started on that NBA feast festivity. This is feast week after all, with all these great college basketball games here right now. Let's take a look at Minnesota coming in 5-1. Wichita State coming in 5-0. The Shockers here. How come we don't call them wheat shockers anymore like we used to when we were kids? Here, so Bobby says they're not even playing a good team here, but I think they're up to $5 here right now. Some of those games, right? Even the Champions League. Look, we preview it because it is the highest league, right? But some of those teams are overmatched. If anything, sometimes the Champions League doesn't live up to expectations, it feels like. All right, Minnesota and Wichita here coming in right now. Minnesota, look, I just said they're 5-1 straight up. They're 1-5 against the spread of Minnesota. They're talk about. I guess that would mean you're overrated, right? If you're 5-1 straight up and 1-5 against the spread, you're just favored by too many points each game. Is really what it turns out to be. Wichita, 3-2. Yeah, 3-2 to the number so far. Look, Minnesota's got a pretty good scorer in Garcia. He, does it pretty strong here, but Wichita's got Hill. They're pretty decent coming in right now. Wichita up to a 2-point favorite, total 137.5 here. I'm going to end up on the under here in this game. Now, Wichita is 1-3 to the under so far as a favorite. Minnesota's 1-5 to the under overall. So give me the under here in this one. But like I said, just interesting that Minnesota's not covering any numbers. Now, this one isn't a game where they're favored and laying points. They're actually in a dog roll here. First time all season for Minnesota in the dog roll now. So maybe that will change their fortunes a little bit ATS-wise. I don't know if it will, but I'm going to take the under here in this one. And let's see if you guys have anything here. Elliot wants to go under here. Thank you, Thomas, for pumping my service up there. I do have a 10-pack of college basketball games today here with my high volume plays. Look, I don't tell you to play every game, but I do. But really, I just want you to know, so you know that you can go to my winnable, if you're subscribing there for whatever, 50 cents a day, maybe $1 a day, whatever, and just know what I'm on, right? Maybe you want to bet the game. Maybe you're unsure. Maybe you have a side in total, but you say, hey, let me check to see what Ramon's on, because I've had usually the pick for many games in there. It feels like today, half of them I have a pick on. Billy's on Wichita here. Doge is on Minnesota. And we had some winners. Look, we had some plays yesterday in college basketball. It was mixed results for sure, but we did have some winners here with Western Michigan as a premium pick winner yesterday. We had Canisius plus the points. They lost, but they covered. It felt pretty easy. There we had South Dakota and Nebraska game to go over yesterday as a premium pick winner. We had Northridge and Montana over as a premium pick winner. We had Davidson and Arizona over as a premium pick winner. Starting to sound like Joe with all those overs and the unders that I had lost. Yesterday it felt like, Joe, maybe I should just take more. Here's Joe says, Ramon, take more overs if that's the case. All right, here we go. Chosen one's on the under, though. And Bobby Mack's on Wichita here. I'm going under here in this one. Let's keep it moving here right now with our college basketball card with Louisville taking on West Virginia. This one also a noon Eastern and 9 a.m. start here. Louisville's won 3 in a row. West Virginia's 1-2 straight. This one's at the Battle of Atlantis. In the Bahamas here today, you've got Louisville, a 3-point favorite, and the total 151. Let's bump it up. You got to bump it up. Minnesota or Louisville here. There it is, 3-0 or a 3-point favorite here right now. Louisville comes in with a record of 4-1. Both teams are 4-1. And both teams are 3-2 against the spread so far this season. But these are two teams that definitely have been going under here for the most part. But man, will it here today at 151? Just the fact that is so high makes me want to probably take another over here is what it feels like. I will say, though, Louisville is 1-4 to the under so far this season. West Virginia, they're kind of nondescript here right now, 2-1 over under, but Louisville has been going under for sure, but I'm going over in this game here. They've actually played a few games here against one another, and Louisville's kind of had West Virginia's number throughout the years, but I don't think they've met in a while, so I'm not too interested in the series history. I will say, though, Louisville has won 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two programs and gone 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 meetings between the teams. But I'm going to grab the over here despite these early season trends with these two teams at 151. I got to go over here in that one. And Thomas says, maybe I've got the over in some of these games. Elliott's on Louisville. Thomas is on Louisville, but West Virginia is on chosen one's on West Virginia. Robert's on Louisville. Here's more West Virginia, so it's running about 3-2 here right now. And here's more West Virginia to even it up. Justin gives it a play on Louisville, so I think it's 4-3, but that's good enough for Thomas. 4 votes on Louisville, 3 on West Virginia, but Thomas says, give me that as a consensus play today. 57% is good enough for Thomas, and let's go with Louisville as consensus play number 3 here in this one. All right. Laying the 3 points there. He says, let's do it. All right. I always want it to be a little stronger, but look, I want to try to get us a win if you feel good about it here. But there's no doubt you look at some of the, I want to fault these guys in the chat saying they let you had Rich on West Virginia, Doge on West Virginia, Chosen One on West Virginia as well. So let's give those guys some props here. They're on West Virginia. All right, keep it moving here right now in this one. And I got more college basketball action here with Indiana taking on Gonzaga. Here in this one, Indiana comes in 4-1. Gonzaga comes in 5-1. Here in this game, this one's being played, of course, also in the Bahamas event right after the Louisville, West Virginia game. Gonzaga is 4-2 against the spread so far. IU just 2-3 so far to the number. IU is 1-4 to the under so far this season. Gonzaga's gone over in 4 of their 6 games so far, but hey, this thing right now, Gonzaga 9.5-point favorite, total 158.5. It's gone up here. I don't get it. So I've got the under here in this one with Gonzaga and Indiana here. You got Indiana's gone under in each of their last 2 games, including the game last night against Louisville. It was 89-61. IU got rocked in that game. They also went under in their previous game against Greensboro. For Gonzaga, they did go over yesterday in that game against West Virginia to 164 points in that win, but they did not cover, laying 14 points. They did cover the 3 games before that against Long Beach, San Diego State, and Lowell. But I'm going to go under here in this one with Indiana and Gonzaga, with it going up. I'm even going to update it here. 9.5, 158 or so here right now. And in the chat, let's see what we got here. Thomas is on Indiana, and Robert's on Indiana as well. Elliot's on Indiana, and hello to Lenora. Nice to see you. Thank you for everything, Lenora. Thank you for all your support, and I'm happy to see you here in the chat. You're eligible for the parlay today. Great to see you, Lenora, and I'm glad you're out there. Miss having you here in the chat. Dana says take Gonzaga. All right. Next one up, we're going to get these out of the way, get the show over with, but I've got some nice college basketball games here too, with Purdue taking on NC State and Purdue. We already mentioned it, right? Pardon me, gang. Here we go. Purdue favored in this one by 7. Make sure we get that right. 7-1. Ooh. Well, we mentioned the widely reported steam. It's not a surprise here at 148. It's maybe feeling a little bit too uncomfortable here, but the steam just keeps going up. It feels like in this game, but I feel like the talking head, from what I've seen, the talking heads, all the writers, they want to go over to, they're chasing that steam, it feels like today. And I don't think it's a bad idea necessarily. You're paying a tax here, but these two teams have kind of been going under so far. Purdue is 2-3-1 to the under. NC State's 2-3 to the under. I don't know if there are any real trends about that here, but NC State is 3-2 against the spread so far to go with that 5-0 record. Purdue comes in 5-1 here in this one, but I think there's too many points, man. I'm going to end up taking NC State here plus 7 points as my play here on the Morning Steam Show. Hello to Irish King here. Elliot's going over in this one today. I'm going with the Wolfpack. Thomas is going with the Wolfpack as well. And so is Elliot. All right. Elliot's got Wolfpack and over here. All right, thanks, crew. I think that might be enough on that game. I don't know if we're going to get any other comments here necessarily from the chat. And Elliot says, I know the Pack, and that's important. There's our North Carolina correspondent. So that's what means a lot here. And this looks like it could be a consensus play here. Here's Robert McCormick on NC State. Look, we're seeing good play, right, from the Pack so far, from Taylor, from Styles, from O'Connell as well. So they've got a pretty good crew. Look, Kaufman-Wren is a pretty top-notch player and scorer so far, it feels like, for Purdue. You got Smith, certainly one of the best guards in the country as far as distributing the ball here. Look at here's a little bit more Pack action. This is all about the Pack here in the chat. Man, that feels like more consensus-y than that other game. Wow, you guys are all over NC State here today, taking these points against Purdue. Look, Smith is one of the best guards, certainly, in the country. That feels like a consensus play there for sure. All right, let's keep it moving here right now. We've got more action to look at with Arkansas taking on Illinois, and a good one here. This one's actually being played in Kansas City here in this one. You've got Illinois here as a favorite. Okay, Thomas says number 3 consensus. Is only number 3? I thought the football we had 2. Or are you canceling that other one, Thomas? It was only 4-3. because we have so far, right? We have Cowboys, Tulane, hope I got that right. Cowboys, Tulane, Louisville, and now NC State for a 4-teamer here. So unless you're canceling that. Okay, here we go. Dana's already on Illinois, and so is Elliott here in this one with Dallas, Tulane, and Louisville, and now also with NC State. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Thanks, Thomas. Great job. All right, so we got Dana on Illinois. We've got so far Robert here on the over. We got Elliott on Illinois here as well. Illinois, both teams are 5-1 coming in here to this one. But man, what are we going to see here? What type of game are we going to see here with these two teams? The steam or the action seems to be on the over here a little bit, right? Right now it's up to 156. Really? Is that – look, I know that everyone's going to think this is going to be a high-scoring game, and I'm sure it is going to get there. But, man, that feels like it's getting a little bit too high here for me right now. I don't know if I'm going to be back in this steam. Look, I get it, right? You got two teams. They're definitely putting up some points, but they are a combined 4-8 to the under here so far this season. Illinois has been a favorite every time, right? Well, not every time. They were actually a dog. Who was that against? They were a dog against Alabama, and they fell well short in that game, and that was an over. But as an underdog, they're 1-4 to the under is Illinois so far, and or as a favorite, I mean. Illinois is a favorite, 1-4 to the under so far. Now, these two teams have a little bit of series history here. They met last season. Arkansas won 73-63. That was their first win over Illinois in quite some time here. The previous 4 meetings were won actually by Illinois, but Arkansas got the best of them last year, and that was only 143 points. So I've got Arkansas here to win this one. I'll take them on the money line here a little bit. I'm going to take Arkansas, here in the game against Illinois tonight. Make sure that line I have is 2.5, 156. I'll leave 2 up there since I'm taking Arkansas. Give me Arkansas plus 2 points. Justin's on Arkansas. Thomas says, what's their records? Yeah, Thomas and both teams coming in 5-1. But against the spread, you got Illinois 4-2 against the spread. Arkansas just 2-3-1 so far this season. So Illinois has been getting the number here, certainly. Nasty Nate likes the Rams. Colorado State playing or what? All right, Elliott on the under here. And I'm going to take Arkansas on this one. Couple more here, and we'll get it rolling. Rhode Island Rams. There we go. That's what I should have been better on that. Nasty Nate. Of course, I should have known Rhode Island Rams here today. Who are they playing? All right, here we go. Next up, how about this one with Oklahoma taking on Arizona here in this one. This one also at the Battle of Atlantis today. Arizona's kind of a runaway favorite here. They were, 5? Now they're 6.5. Bad graphic there. There we go. I got it at 6.5 right now, and the total at 155.5. Here we go. I think we should give the graphics man a raise. All right, you hear that, boss? This one on ESPN at 5 Eastern and 2 Pacific from the Battle of Atlantis. So far, Oklahoma 2-3 ATS. So is Arizona, but it's Oklahoma that's 5-0. Arizona actually has a couple of losses. They lost to Duke. They lost to Wisconsin, but they're the ones taking the money here, it feels like, so far today. And I don't know. I think that could be a sound move here. You got guys like Bradley doing a good job scoring here for Arizona, just averaging 14 points a game. They've had nice balance. You got Awaka, big rebounder here, and of course, Caleb Love running the show a little bit. Of course, for Arizona, for Oklahoma, you got Fears there leading the way in the scoring. Godwin mixing it up there up front. And let's see what you guys want to do here in this one with Oklahoma taking on Arizona. I got a premium pick here in this one on the side. So I'm going to default to the total here, and I've got over at 156 and a half, 155 and a half, whatever it is. I'm going over. The widely reported steam came in on the over. It also came in on Arizona here, but give me the over as my play here on the show. Oh, they're taking on Arlington. Oh, yeah, that first game. Okay. In fact, I will mention that, Nate, the steam came in on the under in that game. Is down to like 159, I think, or so, and it was 161. Just want to note that. So Rhodey's a 7.5 point favorite. The Rams are 7-0, or 6-0 so far. Elliott's going over. Justin likes Arizona. So does Robert here. And here's Elliott on OU. Also, let's see, Doge says he took him as a 4.5 point favorite. And here's Robert with the over here in this one. All right. Next up now. There's that Ole Miss and BYU game. That widely reported steam came in on the over. I said when it came in that I was going to be on the over, so guess I'm on the over here. But this is a matchup of two undefeated teams here, 5-0 right now for Mississippi, and BYU comes in at 5-0 as well. In this one, there's one other matchup of undefeateds today that I didn't preview: Utah State and Bonaventure. Both Utah State 5-0, Bonaventure 6-0 here in this one. So see what you want to do here in this one with BYU and Ole Miss. I already said I'm kind of going on the over here today, but BYU so far just 2-3 against the spread, while Ole Miss is 3-2 to the number. This will be the first time this season that Ole Miss has been an underdog. Ole Miss is 3-2 to the over, BYU 2-3 to the under, but I'm going to end up on the over here in this game. Ole Miss has gone over in each of their last two games. They scored 100 against Oral, and they beat Colorado State 84-69 in an over here. For BYU, their two overs came against, they scored 95 points against Idaho. They scored 86 points against Riverside. But I'm going to go over here at 152. Oh, gosh. 154, gang. 154 is now the total. And you got BYU up to 4 here. So give me the over. Now, I'll take the over, but obviously not getting the best of it at all here in that one. We're almost done with the show. Thanks for joining me here today. We got 130 of you setting all sorts of records here, it feels like, for live views. I think we had 150 on that one back early when we first came over here, and everybody's excited to see me. That felt great, but this feels great today that you guys are willing to hang out with me here on Thanksgiving before you have to deal with your family and friends a little bit. Here's Elliott on the over here, and Robert is on Ole Miss. Happy Thanksgiving to Nunya. Thank you, Nunya, for saying hello to everyone. All right, I think I got maybe one more here in me with Butler taking on Notre Dame here in this one. I think I got a few more here we can go over here before the top of the hour. So let's do a few more. Butler and Northwestern. Butler coming in 4-1. Northwestern comes in here at 5-1. These two teams have played, I believe, let me see when this last one was. They played, they haven't played in years. Last time they played was 8 years ago. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. So let's just talk about it from what we're doing this season right now. Like I said, both teams coming in with good records. Northwestern 5-1, Butler 4-1, but Northwestern 4-1 against the spread here so far. But I'm not too worried about that. You look at who they were playing here. Maybe the matchups were a little bit easy and they just weren't able to get it done. They had a close scare against Montana State. They didn't cover that one. They pushed against Pepperdine last time out. They failed to cover against Eastern Illinois. They failed to cover against Illinois Chicago, but those were laying double digits. And now here, just a 1.5 point favorite against the Butler Bulldogs. Butler is 1-0 as an underdog so far this season, but this is nearly a pick 'em here right now. Butler 1-4 to the under here so far this season, and maybe typical Butler fashion. And when you're taking on a Northwestern team here, 2-3 to the under as a favorite. Total here right now, let me make sure we got it right, but it is 134, maybe even 134.5. But Northwestern favored by here a couple of points here right now. Martinelli, one of the best scorers certainly going here for Northwestern, nearly 24 points per game so far. And you got a guy like Barnheiser does it all here. The guard can dish the ball, the guard can rebound. Barnheiser's done a pretty good job here. I say guard, he's a little bit taller than that, I think, but I'm not going to get too much into the personnel here with all these games, but certainly have a pretty balanced team here. Here's a steam play coming in right now in that big game between Utah State and St. Bonaventure, battle of undefeateds. I'll go out on a limb and say this right now, that not on a limb, but this one is moving to the under right now. I've asked you guys if you wanted to get my additional plays. I do have a premium pick in the game between Utah State and St. Bonaventure. The steam is coming in right now on the under at 149 or so. It could be headed south of that. I've already given it out. I sent it out about 3 or 4 hours ago on the under Utah State and Bonaventure. Doesn't mean it's going to come through, but I'm going to hit that CLV just like I usually do with that early release card. I did send out the under in that game as my pick. So check me out over at winnable.com. Pick up my plays today, that play, and 9 others here on the college basketball card. And I am Mr. CLV to a certain extent here, not because I have a great vision or foresight. I kind of follow the markets and I see it. If it agrees with my play, I move it on it early. That's what you're supposed to do. At least that's what they've told me in handicapping school. All right, here we go, though, in Butler and Northwestern here in this one. And, I think you guys kind of knew what I was getting at here with this game. I'm going to try the under here with Butler and Northwestern. You guys have anything, let me know. Here we go. Hey, Deshaun G's in the chat. He says he likes Arkansas here in this one. He says Arkansas has won. Let's see, what is this? Each of their last 7 games against non-ranked opponents. How about that? Thank you, Deshaun. Great trend there in that game, certainly. And I don't have a problem with a trend like that. I kind of like that, actually. But Illinois, it doesn't feel like they should be not ranked here at this point. What are they, 26? It doesn't feel like they should be much higher, it feels like. It's to play. 22nd in the Ken Palm. Maybe they're 26th in the AP, but man, that one's close, right? Because it does feel like Illinois should be a ranked team. Hey, PZ, thank you very much. Nice to see you. So, Sub, thank you as well. Justin went against me in the Butler game. Chosen one's on Butler. Fernando went with my Wildcats. Uh-oh, we're getting a lot of Wildcat support here. Look at this. Doge, the Department of Government Expenditures. Here is on Northwestern. Here's another Northwestern. Here's an under. But, man, Northwestern taking some heat here from the chat. Deshaun on Oklahoma in that other game. Julian's talking about that Illinois game as well. And he says Illinois will smash in that other game. So, Northwestern here and the Butler Bulldogs. And when Northwestern rejected me I should have dumped him long ago, but I'll take the under here with Butler and Northwestern. Next up, USC is going to take on. Let's get into a little late action. We're going to want to watch some basketball tonight, aren't we? 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, with USC and St. Mary's here in this one. St. Mary's favored by 4.5, total 141.5 or so here in this one. And I think you're going to hear a lot of this Trojan support here as a dog, but let's take a look at some of the numbers. I don't know if this is a great matchup necessarily for them here. This one is being played in Palm Springs, a neutral site game here certainly right now. St. Mary's comes in 6-0 here at this point. SC is 5-1 coming in. I mean, they've got some talent too with Williams and Thomas, but St. Mary's so far, Marshallonis, of course, here, and Maruskas. St. Mary's got that international flavor again, it feels like here. So far, they've been overrated in a lot of their games, but you know what? So has USC. So far, St. Mary's just 1-4 against the spread. USC's 1-5. These two teams are combined 11-1 overall, but just 2-9 against the spread. So both teams haven't been very good as favorites. St. Mary's is 4-1 to the over so far this season. USC's 4-2 to the over so far here. I'm going to take the over. Give me a double play. I'm going to go double on this one. Give me the over here in this one. Nah, just give me the over. Just give me the over. I might actually play this one as a premium. So we'll see. It didn't make my package yet, but I might have a late card or maybe a VIP card for the free subscribers today with this late game. I might be looking for a little late action tonight, so maybe I'll send something out. But I'm going to try here the over with USC and St. Mary's. Let's see what you got here in this one. If anything, anybody with Thomas is on SC here in this one. And Fap Win, very nice to see you today. And he's going to got some Euro baskets for us here today. I don't think I have a Euro baskets play here. Let me see. Let me see if I can come up with something. I don't think I do. I didn't. I do have my ratings out for it, right, for the games here. Let's see. Am I thinking right here? Or what are you playing? VT? Are you playing? Is it? I want to make sure. I might not sure what's going on in international basketball today. So, but thank you, Fap. Nice to see you. Me and Fap been hanging for years. Robert McCormick's on USC. This might be a USC consensus play. How about that? I didn't see anybody here on St. Mary's here in this one. Wow. Okay.
Good play.
Thanks, fam. Here we go. One more, and then we're out of here. We're going to do the drawing here right now. We got 130 of you, so please take this moment to enter in the chat right now. Any comment you have, and you'll be interested in the drawing here. It's a 4-teamer, so we're going to get someone live for a 10-1 play. We've been averaging almost over 300 views, so someone might win $30 or $35 today. Maybe it'll be 25 with the show. Start with the early games, maybe not enough views of the show, but here we go. Last game. ASU and New Mexico. Is that right here tonight? This is the other game here in Palm Springs tonight with the Lobos. Here, favorite 4.5, 158.5. I really do like the over here, but probably just going to make it my free play here in this one. I'm not going to go premium. I want to, but maybe it's just a little bit high. ASU is 5-0 to the over so far here this season. New Mexico, look, they're just 3 overs and 3 unders, but they are 3-1 to the over as a favorite so far. ASU 3-0 to the over as a dog. So I think in this role, I think that's going to favor this game to go over so far. Also, ASU is 3-0 against the spread as an underdog so far this season. ASU's got pretty good mix of guys in there, right, with Sanon and Acquaintance, right, and Mason as well for the Lobos. Look, Dent is a guy who can run the show and do the scoring there a little bit. You got Joseph, big time rebounder here. I'm going to go over with New Mexico and Arizona State as my final play here on the show. Thank you, everybody. Let's see what we got. And Nunez on Kent State today. Patrick's ready for the drawing. USC makes it number 5. So let's roll it today. Let's go with a $20 play here. USC was a consensus play. Get ready for the drawing here, gang. Let me mark that down. USC consensus play. Here we go. Look, we got some overs in this game, it feels like, here on the end. And Doge is on the over. Elliott's on the over as well. I'm on the over here. Robert McCormick on ASU. Steve Fowler, how have you been, Steve? It's nice to have you on this Thanksgiving Day. Don't tune out, everyone. Please enter something in the chat, in your YouTube chat. It's got to be the YouTube chat, I believe, but make a comment here right now so you can be eligible for the 20-1 5-teamer here, right? Is that what it ended up there? So, man, if we get 300 views here, somebody could win, $150 today on our drawing. Let's go. All right, let me get to the drawing here. The show is over. The top of the hour has come. That's when we like to get out of here. So make sure I'm going to wrap it up here. Give me one more second to enter in any comment into the chat to be eligible to win possibly up to $150 today just by typing in the chat. So please do that right now while I talk about my plays. Over at winnable.com, you can pick up my package of plays. It's very simple. It's very easy, you guys. Why you're not doing it? Look, this is how you support me here on the show. Yes, I'm up here selling picks, okay? I've been doing that for years. It was part of my thing to come over here. I used to sell my picks for $25, $35, $45 for a day, but now I just sell it for about 50 cents. If you subscribe over at winnable.com, use the promo code STEAM, get that package. You see right there on that middle phone, the one with the $19.95. That's my monthly charge, if you will. So that's about 67 cents a day, right? I can figure that out. But if you use the promo code STEAM, it goes down to about 50 cents a day. So follow my action, click that QR code for just 50 cents. You're going to get another handful of plays from me every day. Maybe you don't have time to watch the show, but you want to know what Ramon is on. Just go to winnable.com and you see right there. And this is kind of what it looks like, right? You got me there, and let me show you here the QR code. But look, it's got powered by Stripe, so it's just like here's you get Apple Pay, Google Pay, whatever. It's very easy. You press it, next thing you know, that comes up, and you can if I double click the button right now, I'm subscribing to myself. So that's how easy it is on your phone. So why not support me here on the channel? This is a viewer-based channel. And I said, Mike, I'll come over there. I'll take my show from that 45,000 subscriber channel, put it right here. We didn't even have 500 subscribers. We're almost up to 1,000 here right now. We got a little bit of breaking news here, though. We're right before the drawing. Stay tuned, but we got breaking news here right now. And the news is good for the Detroit Lions. Amon-Ra St. Brown will make that lineup today. He's been upgraded to probable in the game here against the Bears in just about 90 minutes. So talked about it. I said it was going to be tough maybe for Amon-Ra St. Brown to make this lineup. They could use him in there. Guy gets his basically 6 or 7 passes a game, right? Nearly 65 yards or more. And he's got a ton of touchdowns, we know. So Amon-Ra St. Brown here. I know he's going to be popular here. I saw you guys commenting in the chat on some of your props, and I was like, is he even on the board? He's in, baby. Good call, you guys. Amon-Ra St. Brown in tonight here. All right, let's go here and make the drawing here right now as I say hello and goodbye here. And we got 5 plays, I think is what Thomas said, right? Let's see what they are. Dallas, Tulane, Louisville, NC State. The Tulane was football, we know that, but nonetheless, we got 4 college, right? Tulane, Louisville, NC State, USC, and Tulane football, and Dallas Cowboys. Okay. Here we go. Drawing's ready. You guys are ready. Everyone's in here. Peasy wants the Euro baskets. I only have my figures up here. Right. I was trying to figure out. Here. I don't have anything for you, Peas. Okay, here we go. Let's go right now to the drawing screen and get ready for the exciting drawing. We're back on, baby. We need to win one here. All right, here we go. Let's bring it up with the contest here right now. Boom. There we go. 51 of you are entered in the drawing for this 5-teamer. I put in 1 penny for each view on YouTube that this that we get. And again, with that first game at 9:30, I'm going to put it in at 9:25. So if you get drawn here right now, go blow up this video so we can get 400 or 500 views. Hey, 500 views, 1 penny per view. I'm going to put in a $5 parlay. You're going to hit it at 20 to 1. Hey, I can do the math on that. Let's win somebody some big time money here right now with the drawing. Who's going to win? Here we go. Joseph, Kelly, Dana, Johnny, Cliff, Peasy, Steve, Ferner, Lee Anthony, Ron, Doge, Higgs, Flea Mathis. Flea Mathis is our winner. He'll get the drawing here today for the 5-1 or 5-teamer, 20 to 1, baby. Let's roll. Flea, go blow it up. I know you got followers on social media. Send it out to your family and friends. Tell them they don't even have to watch it. They just have to go and view it for 2 seconds to get those views up. You see how I'm doing it here, fam. I'm trying to get the views up. So, Flea, thank you for all your support over time here with me here and everything you do for our community in the chats. We know you've been a big time contributor for years here on all the shows. So Flea, you're awesome and you get a chance today. Let me know how I can send you the money. PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle. I got them all. If you need another way, just tell me what it is when you win. We won't worry about it now, but make sure you I'll find you. I know where to find you, Flea. So thank you. And you're the winner today. Thank you for everyone here on the Morning Steam Show. I'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 Pacific here with more action here. Thank you, you guys. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific here. No, I think there's no pre-gaming today because of the holiday, I think Mikey said. So no problem there. We'll be back tomorrow with more morning steam for Friday. We got all that college football to look at tomorrow and the Black Friday game with the Raiders and the Chiefs, and we'll see how they do it, right? You're going to be able to order stuff on the screen, I guess, as we watch the game tomorrow. All right. It's going to do it. Catch you here. Have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you, everybody. Great support, incredible support today for the show. I almost don't want to leave you with over 100 people in here right now, and so I feel so fortunate to have you guys I don't know, want to hear what I have to say, or mostly likely what the chat has to say. So thank you again very much, everyone. I'm the thankful one here today. Thank you also, a special thank you to Mikey Money for allowing me to bring the show over here now for, I guess it's been now, basically 3 months or so, it feels like, and it's been a good run. And wait till you see what Mikey's has in store for you guys too. It's going to be a Merry Christmas, let's just say, around here on the Sports Money Network. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.